It's 1 hour after the completion of the Jaguars' 23-17 preseason win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and all is well in Jaguar land from the standpoint that they played a lot better than they did last week, but still a long ways to go when you look at the overall big picture from tonight's game. This is Gene Frenette reporting for Jacksonville.com along with my colleague, Jaguars beat writer Vito Stellino. And Vito, tonight's game kind of featured a mixed bag for the Jaguars. Some very good things happening, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. Reggie Nelson, 2 terrific athletic interceptions. Reggie Hayward coming in immediately on the second or third play of the game, stripping the ball, causing another turnover. But the Jaguars just didn't seem like they took full advantage of the great defensive play early on.
Yeah, when you get up 10-0 early, you should really put the hammer down. And they didn't do that against the first-string defense. Granted, Tampa's a pretty good, first-string defense. But this is the kind of game that why you don't like the preseason, because you can take all the events and say, well, on this and this and that. Definitely some concerns about the offense, but again, in 2 weeks there will be 0-0 against Tennessee, and then we'll find out whether this means anything. But I think they have to be concerned about the offense. They don't have a receiver who stretches the field. Garrard has not been as sharp as he was last year. The offensive line you have to wonder about, and if the running game is always facing 9 guys in the box, that's going to be tough. So I think that's the big concern. And also Reggie Hayward, played well tonight, but they're awfully thin at defensive end, and he's got to be able to hold up long term.
Let's also be mindful. A couple other things to point out. The Jaguars had 12 penalties tonight for 80 yards, something that Jack Del Rio prides himself on avoiding. Matt Jones and Dennis Northcutt both had some very good plays tonight, particularly in the third quarter when they got a lot of yards after the catch, which led to the Jaguars' touchdown. But let's be mindful, those plays came against Tampa Bay's second-string defense, so it's a little bit misleading, the first-team offense going out in the third quarter, taking charge, going down the field, and scoring a touchdown. But those aren't the kind of matchups you're going to get during the regular season.
Well, I think Matt did have something against the first team, but I wouldn't have Matt Jones on the team under any circumstances to start with. But maybe this will keep him on the team, and I think that would be the long-term detriment of the team, because I think in the regular season he still becomes a liability.
Well, you say you don't want Matt Jones on the team to begin with, and there's certainly a lot of fans that might agree with you on that point, but this is a team that desperately needs some sort of lift from their receiver core, and they only got it in little pockets tonight, and Matt Jones did at least provide something. So from that standpoint, with Jerry Porter still out, I don't see how Matt Jones won't make this team.
Oh, no, you're probably right. He will, and I think that's not a good sign for them. I just think I want more intensity from players, and I just don't see that from him.
Another further note from tonight's game, Maurice Jones-Drew was held out of the rest of the game because he tweaked his ankle a little bit. We do not know to the extent of how serious that is. It may be something very minor. It probably is. But we also got a glimpse of how much this Jaguar offense is really missing, really has a big missing piece when Jones-Drew is not in there. And tonight, the effects of that was also pretty evident.
No question, he's a huge piece of the puzzle. And sprained ankle, they say it's minor, but got to keep your fingers crossed. You never know those sprained ankles, so they can linger on.
They got one final preseason test for the Jaguars. That comes this coming Thursday night against the Washington Redskins. And then 10 days later, opening of the season at Tennessee, where the Jaguars have had a history of problems being able to take care of business against AFC South opponents. We'll see how they fare 2 weeks from tomorrow. Reporting from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, this is Gene Frenette and Vito Stellino for Jacksonville.com.